This is the syntax of our nested if statement. Now if you look closely at the syntax, you'll see that the nested if is composed of the if and the else block, where the else block is optional. Now if this condition evaluates to true, in that case the statement within the if block will get all these statements is present within this particular if block. After these statements get executed, the control will come over here, and then it starts to evaluate the condition of this particular if statement, which is present inside of this if statement, and that's the reason why it is known as nested if. Now if this condition evaluates to true, then this set of statement will get executed. But if this condition evaluates to false, in that case the control will then shift to the else part, and the statement within the else part will get executed. However, it is not necessary that every if statement should have an else statement, and once this particular statement inside of the else block will get executed, the control will come out of the outer if statement and it will skip the outer else part. However, if this condition evaluates to false, in that case the control will directly come to the else part and it will execute these following set of instructions. Now that we have understood the syntax of nested if, let us see them in action. This is a very simple program that shows the working of the nested if statement. Now in this program I've made use of a variable by the name speed, and I've initialized it with a value of 31.5, and then I've made use of another variable which is of a character data type, and I have initialized it with the value red. Pay close attention as to how I'm making use of this character array. Now once this first two lines of code get executed, the variable speed, which is of float data type, is initialized with the value of 31.5, and the variable color, which is of character data type, is initialized with the value red, since I am making use of a character array here. Now when this particular if statement gets executed, this particular condition evaluates to false, because of which the control flows to the else part and this particular statement gets executed. Let us see what happens if we change this particular value to a value which is less than 30. After I have changed this value to 25, this particular condition will now evaluate to true, because of which the code within this particular if block start getting executed. This printf statement will now get executed, and the message saying great driving will get outputted on your screen. After that, it encounters another if statement which is inside of this outer if statement. Now this particular condition gets evaluated, where we check if the color is green or not. But since we have initialized the color variable with a value red, this condition will evaluate to false, because of which the control now flows to the else part of this if statement, and this particular statement saying try to grow green gets executed. Now what if I change this value to green? Let's see what happens. Now once I change the value of the color to green, the first if statement gets executed and the condition is evaluated, which in this case evaluates to true, because of which this particular printf statement with the message great driving gets executed, and the inner if statement gets executed whereby the condition is checked. In this case, this also evaluates to true, because of which the statement within the within the inner if statement gets executed, and this particular statement go green gets displayed on your output screen. Now with these two value, great driving and go green will be displayed on the screen, after which the control comes out of the inner if statement and this else part just gets, and then the control comes out of the outer if statement and this else part of the outer if statement also gets skipped. Now that we have understood the if statement and all the varieties of the if statement, let us now discuss the second type of control structure, and that is the switch statement. Hey guys, there is a small error that I have made in the previous code, and this is where the error is. You should replace the previous line with this particular line. Now this is a string comparison function which compares two strings, our color and this string called green, and this particular function returns 0 when both these two strings are exactly the same. And then what we do is we try to make use of the relational operator equal to, so that 0 equals 0 evaluates to true, and hence this particular instruction gets executed. This string comparison function is present inside of string.h header file. So if you want to make use of this function, you should include this particular line.